Life is. Our guest this week is Suzanne Harmony. Her pseudonym as an author is Isabella Katchastarr. Her book is called Because I Didn't Tell. Recently, we've had this Weinstein business and all the cascading string of them. Ring bells for you?
Oh, totally. Totally. And the string of them and the whole Me Too action and all of that, I've been hearing this echoing in my head for years. And it did haunt me that I did nothing. But I did, actually. I did go to the police. And I did seek help.
Finally.
Yes. And when I was seeking an annulment and a divorce, and learning...
This is from the rapist, because you were basically forced into married.
Yes.
He must have had a horrendous childhood, I'll tell you. That's, okay, I want to go into that. The bureaucracy that you dealt with at whatever level throughout this book, for example, the Children's Aid Society, this regulation about your child who had been a victim of incest, you lost control of that child for a while with his parents, right?
No, I had to send them for a visit.
Yes.
So I lost control. I had to surrender the children for proof, because until that point, it was my word against his. And because I was the one pursuing the divorce, pursuing the annulment, pursuing action, actually, when I left, I just wanted to close the door and never go back. I knew nothing about mother's allowance. I knew nothing about welfare. I knew nothing about anything. But coming home with one child from a set of twins, newborn, to see that your 22-month-old had been sexually assaulted by her own father, I ran, yes.
Do you understand the regulation now?
You know, in all honesty, I don't choose to follow it because obviously, at that time, it wasn't very helpful for me. My daughter was the first one to work with sexually correct dolls. When I left, I just wanted a clean break. I didn't want anything to do with him. I just wanted him to go away and let us have our life, leave us alone. But legally, to get a divorce, to have an annulment, you need to pursue it. Unfortunately, opening up the doors, yes, I believe Children's Aid Society has a great purpose, absolutely. However, I was the one, like many, who have gone through what I've gone through, who was doubted. Even the first worker whom I work with congratulated me to bring this forward, but he too was a victim of child sexual abuse. He told his parents that his uncle was abusing him, and he was not believed. And so you're shamed even more, and you feel even more guilty. And you feel as though if anything happens to that person, you're going to be to blame because you're the one causing trouble. Yeah.
Everybody's in a cleft stick. They don't know who to believe. That's part of the whole problem. And the police are another one. Well, again, the word incest is involved, and the police said we can't do anything unless there's actual harm. Well, what is incest if not harm? I guess it wasn't proven, eh?
No, there was proof. I have documentation. Everything in this book is absolutely true. I have all of the documentation. And yes, unfortunately, there was proof. When I got those children back, Christmas 1983, with friends of mine who had a vehicle because I didn't, waiting. And my children were delivered to me. And all I can remember is the look in their eyes. Like, why did you send us there? Why? And he leaving with a smirk on his face, and I having to take my children on Christmas Boxing Day, only to discover, yes, of course, now there's proof. And then what? Then to have a child work with sexually correct dolls and tell me, behind a mirrored wall, more than I ever wanted to know about what would seem natural to her of a relationship with a father. And so it was horrible. Yes, a nightmare.
This Fidelipe.
Yes.
Which is a weird name.
It is a weird name, but it's a purposeful name.
Well, how do you mean?
Well, smart readers will figure it out. If you unscrabble the letters...
Okay. Unscrabble them for me.
It spells pedophile.
Okay. All right. And I note another rather clever thing, I thought. He or him is always in italics in the book.
Yes. And yes, the publisher
Draw
said...
attention to it.
That's right. I'm not giving him a purpose at all. He's just a he and a him. But also there's a little bit of shock value every time you read something italicized. And yes, people should be shocked.
Was he ever charged with anything?
Was he charged? This is a good mystery. I've reported it. And then later on found out that he had another child, another daughter. And when this was told to me, and yes, I told my children as young teenagers the truth about the life that we had, separate of him, they said, please go and report it again. Keep her safe. Keep her safe. And so I did. What happens? I don't know. Because you know what? There's a Privacy Act. So much privacy. And I find the privacy, unfortunately, most of the times protects the predators.
Yeah, the predators shielded even more than the victim.
More so,
actually.
absolutely.